Good morning. Hello. It's 6:54 El Salvador time, 1:54 UK time. So I'm going to go live soon. Well, live now, but I'm going to start analyzing the chart soon. I'm going to have a look at Bitcoin this morning, as I always do. Then I'm going to look at QANX and TRVL. So I'm going to do my regular QANX Friday stream. I'm going to have a look at TRVL, have a look at the charts, see what's going on. I'm looking at the charts now and I'm seeing that there's a lot of red. So, I haven't looked at the charts for 3 days. So this is quite interesting. I'm going to dive back in and see what's going on. All right. It's kind of 5 minutes before schedule, but let's dive in. Why not? Let's go. Again, I'm not going to do a long stream. I'm doing quite short streams these days. So you don't have to have much time to watch and get a morning update. All right, so this is Bitcoin. Let me go back. Have a look. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Front run of the POC. Bam, 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 bam. Attempted to attack the POC twice. I mean, it's hard to kind of look at your charts and see what's going on, for it to follow what's going on, and to say that something else is going on, isn't it? It's hard, isn't it? I can't just look at this and go, wow, that's following my lines. What do I do? Nothing. You just have to follow the lines. And on Tuesday, I kind of said the same thing. I said maybe the short was over, but actually maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't over. Look at that. Perfect short. Update the volume and see. Okay, so do you see that? The POC has actually shifted a little bit too. And that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Look at that. It's kind of where we're at now in terms of volume. So the POC was front run, but it shifted, and back from Tuesday we had this, and look at that. We've cleared a whole bunch of liquidity. And I kind of think, actually, why not go down to test the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders now? I kind of think that we could go up and hit the POC again. It is possible. Let me just draw my, bring my lines back in. Yeah, we hit the single prints, bounced off them. We cleared that monthly naked point of control, that daily point of control. That's cleared. Let's see the higher time levels. We've cleared these daily levels, daily. We've washed them. I'm going to get rid of them now. And the CME gap is gone. So that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted us to go up, clear a bunch of liquidity. What that means is that if we go up again, there's a lot less liquidity to resist the price. But we've got a really nice reaction from the area of interest. We've hit those single prints and bounced off them. And now we're getting a little bit of a rejection. When I was looking at the order flow on, oops, wrong screen, on XO charts, you can clearly look at that. That's ultra bearish order flow. This is bearish. Look at that. So a long has come in just now. That's 5 minutes. Plus 16 increase in open interest. Net longs plus 12 million. Look at the CBD. The CBD is flying through the roof, isn't it? And look at the price hasn't budged. So you got a massive sell orders that have been placed here, limit orders been placed here, just absorb those market buys, didn't even flinch, the price didn't even flinch. This is ultra bearish, ultra bearish. Look at that. The CVD's gone all the way above all of these highs, the price hasn't moved. Okay, we're underneath the daily open, we're underneath the VWAP. This is bearish day today. The order flow is bearish, but what can I say? You can't get more bearish than that, to be honest with you. So there's no longs. It's looking like a bearish day, which kind of confirms what I was seeing. Rejection from the point of control, rejection from this area of interest, which was where there was a large amount of liquidity. I'm going to hide all this now. And I kind of still think the same thing. I think why not come back down to test the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders that I drew out. It's taken a while to hit, hasn't it? It's taken a while to get there. But it finally got there. Do we go down to the 50 fib? Do we go down to the 50 fib? That's the question. Getting a little bit of lag. Apologies for that. Should come back soon. Do we go down to the 50 fib? Or do we stop at the 382? While there's a little bit of lag, I'm going to pause. Apologies for that. I can see my internet connection has just dropped in half for no reason. Getting a few drop frames. Sorry, apologies. I have no control over this. Apologies. Let me know if you can still hear me. If you can still see me. Hey, mate. Kraftkopf. Hey, mate. How's it going? Nice to see you. I don't know why your message didn't come on screen. Let me just see why. It should come on screen. It's a bit weird. Let me try and figure that out. All right, the internet is kind of slowly increasing in speed. I'm looking at the numbers now and it's kind of slowly going up. Come on, I want the internet to go up. I can't be hanging around with this lag. Let me see if this works. Yes, that worked. Yeah, my speed is kind of slowly increasing. It's up to 8 megabits uploads. My packet loss is decreasing. How annoying is this? We have to rely on the internet to do anything these days. Can't just live life and enjoy life. We have to trust others. Hopefully back. All right, and we're going to continue. I can see the internet's almost back at peak speed. Hopefully you guys are going to rejoin. So I'm going to go right back into the flow. Apologies for that. So I've drawn a fib extension. What I'm going to do here now, just on this just in this rise and have a look at the volume. We're coming back down to the point of control of this little pump. So we are still a little bit above support potentially. I can't see any confluence apart from possibly lower down where I've kind of drawn. Let me extend that a little bit just to kind of capture the whole inverse head and shoulders here. I don't really see much alignment except all the way down at the golden pocket, but that we're back into the inverse head and shoulders, and I don't think that would be bullish. And then we have this kind of trend line here as well. Do we break down from the trend line, come down to the neckline for a pump? This is a tricky one, huh? This is a tricky one. I still think the 50 fib at the neckline is probably still the best area of interest. I can't see any major confluence on liquidity that kind of captures my imagination. But to be honest with you, I do see something lower down. I do see something lower down, and that's why I'm going to kind of protect. See at the golden pocket, we have this daily point of control. And the hard thing is this, yeah. In terms of confluence, in terms of good places to long, in terms of trading, I would say arguably lower down at the golden pocket here with this naked daily point of control. Just losing this rise, uprise volume, value area low would be the best place to long, just because you have the confluence. Yeah. But once you're back into this neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, you've invalidated this inverse head and shoulders. This inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish pattern, all of a sudden becomes bearish. Okay? It's just the way it is. Bullish patterns which are invalidated are bearish patterns. Bearish patterns which are invalidated are bullish patterns. Yeah. So when you look at like a bullish pattern like this, you think, yeah, this is bullish. This is bullish. Right now, this is a bullish pattern. It's an inverse head and shoulders. You've had the measured move. You've had the breakout. Now you're coming back to test the neckline. That's the breakout. Okay. If you lose the neckline, then what this whole structure becomes an overall, it becomes a bearish pattern. It's no longer bullish. It's an invalidated bullish. So that's bearish. The only way to make an invalidated bullish pattern, which is bearish, to become bullish again would be to invalidate that a second time. So you're effectively coming down here, finding support, which is invalidating this bullish pattern, i.e. it becomes bearish, to go up and get back above the neckline. Does that make sense? And then that returns to becoming a bullish pattern again. That's how it works, right? So right now I'm thinking to myself, we go down for a neckline test. That's important. Okay. You lose the neckline. Your next long is going to be the golden pocket where you've got this naked daily point of control. That's going to be a mini long because you're only target there. And so this long that I have marked out here really is for the neckline. Yeah, it's the neckline long. You lose that, you're effectively looking for a scalp, which could turn into a swing at the golden pocket, depending on how the price reacts back at the neckline, because actually the neckline becomes your short after you react off that long, because you're not really expecting us to go up and reclaim that neckline. But if you do, you're expecting the shorts to load up for a compound, and then you're looking for a crazy short down there. effectively you're going up and rejecting. It could be a little bit wider, but that's kind of what you're imagining. And then if you reclaim, effectively that is a really shitty long, but these like shitty longs could develop into better longs depending on how the price behaves. To take profit, and if it reclaims you can compound. But actually if you reclaim the neckline after losing this pattern, you're looking at a breakout long. You're looking at a breakout long to reclaim. So reclaim long, and then that will pump all the way through, probably to all-time highs, probably. Okay, so the first test is going to be the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders. That'll be a really nice long if it holds. Lose that, you're coming for a scalp. All the way down to back test this neckline. Back up to the neckline for a short. The shorts fail and the neckline is reclaimed. Then you're looking for a juicy breakout long. That's basically how I'm imagining it at the moment. So let me just kind of put that into a group of drawings. So there are some options, and effectively kind of, oh fuck, what did I do? Get rid of that. I'll draw it again. So effectively go down, test, that's your long. Lose the long, you go down for a scalp to there. Short, down, or reclaim, up. Like that. Something like that. And the whole thing rotates around the idea of a neckline. So that's going to be a really important line in the price. Now, can the price hold here and pump? Always can, okay? And so while shorts are looking happy, the price can always hold here and pump. No one knows what's going to happen. No one can predict the future. It's an idea of what could happen in the future. It's not what is going to happen, and that's why you have to use correct risk management in your trades, because you can always lose your trade. All right. And that's it, and you move to the next trade. That's how it works. But ultimately, that's what I'm thinking right now. This is looking like a lower high. Could we go in and put a higher low and then just get out of here? It's possible, you know, there's lots of possibilities here, but I think this neckline is really important. So let's keep an eye on that for the future. I'm not going to do anything else on Bitcoin. I can clearly see that the order flow is freaking bearish. Bearish AF. This is really bearish. So as long as it's bearish, you shouldn't be longing. If anything, you should be shorting or looking for short entries. And right now, I think neckline, if it holds long, if it fails, long lower down for a scalp, then short. If the short fails, then breakout long. All right. It's kind of where I'm at right now with Bitcoin. It's kind of how they order. The price is going to flow or could flow. You have to look at the order flow to see if you're going to get bullish or bearish CVD at the areas of interest. But that's kind of where I'm at right now with Bitcoin. Let me just have a look at the daily candles right now. Yeah, that's pretty bearish. Look at that. Yesterday's candle's bearish. Swing failure of these highs. Close lower. up 50% of the wick and then a rejection. It's a bearish day today. Clearly it's a bearish day. 3-day candle looks good because it's a bullish engulfing, but usually with these 3-day candles we definitely go down to test, and it could be a bull trap. That kind of looks like a bull trap to me. And then the weekly candle, we'll see how the weekly end is. Yeah, last week was really good, to be honest with you. The volume is good, but let's see how this week ends. Let's see how it ends this weekend. The interest rates weren't great. The interest rates dropped 0.25%. That was expected. It was priced in. It wasn't like, wow, interest rates down 0.5%. Pump, pump, pump. So anyway, let's just see how the charts play out. Technicals are king. Fundamentals are usually rubbish. Let's just focus on the technicals. That's what we're doing right now. And I would say that is Bitcoin, unless there's any other questions. That's Bitcoin for this morning. I can quickly move into something else. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance actually while we're at it. I mean, Bitcoin dominance is still kind of struggling to go up. So I would still say we're kind of looking to go down on Bitcoin dominance. I'm not thinking up. And so naturally, I'm still thinking we have room to go up with Bitcoin and altcoins. That's what it looks like. Binance Coin made an all-time high yesterday. I don't really look at Binance Coin, but it's a well impressive feat for Binance to do that. It tipped $1,000. That's a massive take profit, by the way. If anyone has BNB coin, you do take profit at $1,000. That's psychologically, it's a really important resistance level. You don't just hold on to your Binance coin just because you think it's going to go to $10,000 and pump, pump, pump. You do take profit at this. This is a good take profit, huh? 991. So it's just food for thought if anyone has that. But Binance has made all-time highs. Solana's has made all-time highs in the past. ETH has made all-time high. Bitcoin's made all-time high. Now we're looking for a lot of the other altcoins to XRP's made all-time. We're looking for a lot of we're looking for a capital rotation, aren't we? Royale wants QANX, right? All right, that's Bitcoin. That's all that. Let's just go for our Friday update on QANX. The Quan fanboys are in town. Let's have a look at QANX. So last Friday, I said that we wanted a weekly close above that level. We didn't get that. So I wasn't crazy about that candle, to be honest with you. There was a sign of hope in that we closed above this level, this previous week low. So there was a little bit of hope in that. The price came down to this weekly level, found support. Let's find my levels if I can. Again, I haven't touched my charts to clean them up. And I haven't actually put these levels in, so let me do that now. Should have done this, but weekly, so monthly, weekly, and daily. Let's have a look at these daily levels quickly. Apologies, I haven't done this for a while. So let me just pull that up and chuck these in. Arguably, I should prepare, right? But sometimes I just like to look at the charts and freestyle it without any prejudice, without any bias. I'll update the volume. That's the post-hack volume. Again, no changes. I want to see more volume, huh? This bothers me, yeah, because if we do get an injection of volume, then we're flying, and we're not seeing that. Okay. Right now, what we're seeing is continued accumulation. You can see it. You can see it on the volume. Yeah, the volume is pretty steady. It's actually dropping off a little bit, but we've had pretty steady volume, and it's not crazy. Actually, let me, for the sake of curiosity, let me have a look at the volume. $53 million market cap. That's bloody cheap. Yeah, the volume is low. Look at that. That volume. And it's a shame, really, because it deserves more, you know. QANX deserves more volume, and it's not really getting the volume that we need. This is like, this kind of bothers me a little bit, you know, like you know, people who know me, they know that I follow this other token, TRVL, Dtravel. And look, the market cap is 3.3 million. Look at the volume. It's like $500,000. Look at that. Look at the volume on TRVL. Look at the market cap and look at the volume. And then look at QANX. You've got a 10x market cap and you've got half the volume. So that kind of, I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but it's a flag. I wouldn't say red, but it is a flag. It's definitely a flag. And it kind of bothers me. What we need is more volume to give us the confidence about any move, which we're not getting right now. I don't know if it's because we're on a single exchange and not on more exchanges. Let me have a look at the exchanges now. Gates. Look, Uniswap has more volume than Gates. PancakeSwap, and they were in BingX, Bitmart, and look, the volume is low. And these exchanges, they do more volume, you know. Like Gates is not a small exchange. It's not a tier 1. But look, Gate does. This is Gate. They do $1 billion worth of Bitcoin volume, $1 billion worth of ETH volume. Look, they do volume. There is volume on Gate, and yet QANX isn't really getting much attention. So it's a flag, huh? For me, it's a flag. I can't comment more than that. Let me just have a look at the X page because I haven't looked. Four hours ago, this is interesting. What are they saying? Quantum breakthrough. The silicon moment has arrived. Quantum Motion just deployed the world's first silicon CMOS quantum computer at the UK National Quantum Computing Centre. This isn't another lab prototype. It's built using standard 300mm semiconductor fabrication, the same process powering modern CPUs and GPUs, same tech that makes your iPhone now making qubits. Why this matters for crypto? Your encryption algorithms just entered their final countdown. Bastards. Scales to million. What is this? The essential impacts of quantum motion's full stack quantum computer. Scales to millions of qubits, suppressing thresholds needed for cryptographic attacks. Wow, 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 wow. Can't not like that and repost that. Meet Quan platform at the Korea Blockchain Week. I think they need to invite me, huh? Head of strategic partnerships. Tell people about, well, not really. I don't really know much about the quantum field, so that's good. They're kind of going out and doing shit. I wouldn't panic, you know, like I'm not panicking. We're above the point of control. We're above this trend line. We've tested it a few times. We've kind of lost it and reclaimed it, and we've back tested it again. I don't want to see us lose this area, and that's, for me, that's really important. I kind of don't want to lose this area again. I think that would be problematic if we lost this area and resisted it. Then we are kind of heading to the lows here. And that will be your next area of support. To be honest with you, I'm not expecting it. I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying that shit happens, you know, and then you could end up with something like this for a massive fake out, pump out, pump, and then pump to the moon. But that would be like your big fake out. That would be like, oh fuck this. This token is dead now. What am I doing? I mean, accumulating for 4 years. It hasn't done anything. Binance coin is all-time highs. I lost money because I didn't put my money into other tokens. And yet that could be the opportunity of a lifetime, because all of a sudden you get a lot of people selling, but it's the value area low. It's just taking out the liquidity of these lows. In a sense, it's a higher low because you're just putting a higher low here and here without taking that low. I don't want it to happen. It would scare a lot of people, but I'd rather us just hold support here, hold strong support here. You want to buy 70,000 tokens? Wow. Honestly, yeah, honestly, not financial advice. Honestly, dollar cost average. I don't think there's any other strategy that's going to keep you safe in the market. Crazy PA. Yeah, because yeah, I think if you want to buy 70,000, take these lows, hit the value area low here. That's a good place to buy. Of course it is. You've just taken these lows and you've hit the value area low. The problem is you're into the point of control, into resistance, and it could reject. Okay. You don't know that. No one knows that. But if we get the volume, then you could pump and pump and pump and pump and pump. Right? We don't know what's going to happen. No one can predict that. So in terms of, you just want to buy at the cheapest price, if you ever have an opportunity to take out these lows and buy QANX, yeah, that would be the fucking amazing place to buy. But at the same time, you might miss it. You might miss it because you've got a lot of eagle-eyed QANX maximalists who would love to take these lows here for a nice test, a real test of the point of control without a front run. Does that make sense? So actually, that would be your first area of interest, I think. Why should I think lower when we haven't lost the point of control? And this point of control is a big one. It's the overall range point of control, and we haven't lost this trend line yet. Does that make sense? So I would say probably another rotation to take these lows would be a good place to pick up more of this token. Yeah, why not? But for people who are like ready to buy the ultimate dip, then you would have to go for these lows. You're going for the lows, aren't you? You're trying to go for the lows. Most people haven't got the time, haven't got the patience, haven't got the nerves to wait. They're not trading, they're accumulating. And in that essence, I think dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average. Buy red candles, buy a little bit on every red candle. Don't even think about the price. You're not looking at the USD price. You're looking at your QANX total. How many QANX total tokens you have in total. You're trying to accumulate QANX. You're not caring about the USD price. Why? Because you know one day in the future, quantum computing will break modern day cryptography. You know that. We all know that. That's what's holding us together. That's what's brought everyone into this project. And you know, we all know that this project has developed a blockchain which resists those kinds of attacks. That's what you're betting on. That's what you're investing on. So for that kind of investment, dollar cost average, yeah, just accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Don't really think about it too much. You know, otherwise you're going to get stressed out. Yeah, it's going to go down 30%. Okay. But you'll get stressed out. You're stressing. If you're stressing in crypto, you shouldn't be in crypto because it shouldn't bring you stress. Yeah, your life has to be at peace. And if you're stressing, you're probably putting too much value into. Yeah, you're probably like putting all your life savings and you've got no money to spend. You're eating sliced bread and peanut butter, baked beans and toast or something like that. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I have no idea. I'm just saying it's possible we go down for another test of these lows. That would be another good place to pick this up, hold the point of control. Another test of this trend line. Bitcoin is looking a little bit bearish right now, so why not? And worst case scenario, we get a real fake out. We go all the way for these lows. That's just that. I don't want that to happen. Anything can happen in crypto. That's a 30% drop in QANX. Then the problem is we have to get back above the point of control. It could happen. We had this big pump. Someone, the big whale could just come in and fucking buy again like that. Pump, pump, pump. We want to see volume actually for the next big pump. We want to see volume, yeah? So until we see that, and it can't just be like volume and sell, volume and sell. It has to be volume and continuation. So like this, I'll show you, this was a volume and sell, wasn't it? Look, this is volume. It came in and look at that sell off. So we don't want that. We don't want just volume and then a sell. We want volume and continuation. We're all anticipating the mainnet. In terms of timing, I would argue that we probably could see, because what's happening now is that Trump wants to devalue the dollar. It's very obvious what Trump is doing. He's trying to devalue the dollar. He wants to pump crypto. He wants to pump it to the moon. He wants to pump all his coins. And then the US Treasury, whatever, they want to dump the market. They want to dump crypto onto the market and pay off their debt. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, so there's a big play unfolding before our eyes. And it's clear as day. So I do think possibly we're going to see another January to March crazy alt season. Yeah, even though people think, all right, the bull market is over. It's reached that time, September, October. The bull market is over. You know, there's lots of things happening that changes the future. And I know, or it seems like Trump wants to do some shit. And we just have to be patient because this isn't, it's clearly not alt season. Even though some alts have hit all-time high, alt season is parabolic in price discovery. That's what alt season is. And it's all alts. It isn't just, it's like most alts. Most alts will pump. And we're not seeing that right now. We're seeing a lot of the majors pump, but we're not seeing all the alts pump. So we're clearly not in that kind of crazy phase yet. And this is clearly geared for a crazy phase. At the very least to hit the all-time high. I think it probably will. And maybe higher. Maybe even higher. It's got everything to do with the mainnet. And so until that happens, we're just looking at QANX and twiddling our thumbs and twiddling our toes and wondering what's going to happen. But eventually, I think What we want to see is we want to see the price break out, hold. That's going to be a real sign for volume, and then pump. That's what we want to see in the future. Until we see that, we're still range bound. We're still accumulating. Something to bear in mind, usually pumps happen from lows. And so that's why I think it's possible either to take out this low for a pump, because this clearly wasn't a pump, huh? Or these lows here. Does that make sense? You know, pumps should happen from the lows. They don't just happen just like that. Unless there's a crazy mega, let's say, just say QANX gets a massive partnership with Microsoft. Let's just say that happens. Yeah, sure. Pump. Wherever it is. And shit can happen, you know, with QANX. But until that happens, I think we're just range bound as always. And dollar cost average, accumulate, and just be patient. Try not to chase other coins. Try not to sell just because BNB is pumping. Try not to chase that. But then if you do chase, bring it back in, bring the value back into QANX. Royal is asking, are they launching mainnet this year? No idea, mate. No idea. Let's ask AI. Is the main net for the platform being launched this year or next? When is the ETA? Let's see what AI said. I probably should have used ChatGPT because sometimes I think Grok is a bit stupid. Drum roll. The good thing about Grok is it does use the X platform for some information. You know, it does use like tweets and stuff to try and figure out what's going on. Oh, they haven't looked. See that? Royale just said, also buying Dtravel soon. 100,000 tokens. Yes, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you. You you obviously watch my videos and I appreciate that. And I'm here working hard in El Salvador, doing some great things. And so watch this space. Yeah, awaiting final security audits. Look, at least Grok explores video content from X, and that's kind of why I like Grok, because it does have a different reach. So the QANX mainnet is not launched yet, but is planned for 2025, which means this year based on the current date. The team is currently in their final stages of security audits, with the QVM audit completed in July 25 and the X-Link audit expected to wrap up in October 25. After that, they will resubmit or submit the remaining code for review and announce an estimated launch date based on the auditor's timeline. The monthly status updates starting in October. No exact ETA has been shared yet, but the focus is on the ecosystem growth preparations leading up to the launch. I think it's possible just to kind of hold until the end of March or mid-March. That's kind of what's on my mind at the moment. Just because I want to see crazy alt season where retail flood the market, and we haven't seen that. And I do think that is what BlackRock and all these big billionaires and whatever, Trump, I think that's what they want, because that's how they are able to sell into liquidity, into retail. That's what they do. they draw them in and then they stump on their asses, and that's when you get the mega pumps on all these kind of relatively smaller obscure coins. And if the reality is, when QANX launches, there's going to probably be a mega marketing campaign, a lot of hype, possibly, hopefully you're going to get lots of exchanges pick it up all of a sudden because you've got this new layer one, quantum resistant. We could see like, even though the all-time high is 20 cents, a 4-year breakout. Do you really think that's going to hold as resistance? It might be a good place to take profit, but then you could get more volume coming in because all of a sudden QANX is on the radar. Do you really think that's it? After 4 years, you really think that's going to hold the price? Not likely. Such a long consolidation, a breakout of the 4 years. I think we're probably going higher. We have to look at the volume. Suddenly you're going to start getting some big volume coming in because it's suddenly going to be on the radar. Everyone's going to be going, this is a new layer one. This is quantum resistant. Let me get some. Let me buy some. I need to be on board. Developers going to come in. They're going to have to buy QANX to run their applications. You know, there's a lot of things going to be incentivizing people to buy this token. So the best thing you can do is nothing, really. If you're holding QANX, do nothing. Don't even look at the price. My videos are entertainment value only, really, aren't they? Sharing a little bit of news, information, rallying the troops, keeping people to dollar cost average and telling people it's still okay. You know, we're still good. We're not going down because we're above the point of control. We're still in this kind of holding pattern. You know, the plane is flying around in this holding pattern. So that's kind of my QANX update. So I appreciate you guys. Like and share if you may, if you like this video, and that gives me more energy. That gives me the energy to continue, you know, when people like, share, comment. And I'm continuing my Friday updates of QANX, kind of rallying the troops. I hold QANX. I do. That's I'm not financial advice, you know, entertainment value only. I hold it. I do believe in this project, and I do believe in the future where quantum computing will probably break all crypto, probably. Yeah. So whatever you do, whenever you sell, hold a little bit for the future, because you just never know. You know, one day we could be sitting on a $100 billion market cap layer one. Yeah. And what the fuck? Imagine if it got to $100 billion. What's the price of this token now? 0.0. Let me just do the sums. It's quite interesting, yeah? Let's say it's 0.03 cents. All right, let me just do the sums here. So, I've done this with TRVL. I'll do it with QANX. QANX is currently, how much was the market cap? This is just entertainment, yeah? Don't take this. Take this as entertainment. 52 million or 53, let's say. QANX is currently $53 million. What would the price of the token be if it reached 100 billion? And what would the X multiplier be at that target MCAP? And if I had $1,000 investment in QANX, now how much would my investment be at the $100 billion target? You know, AI is so amazing. You just ask it questions and it just figures out shit for you, isn't it? So it's kind of fun. I kind of like to have fun with this kind of stuff. Why not? Why not $100 billion in the future? Why not more? Why not? It's totally within reach. Quantum computing, 5-10 years. I don't see why not. That's why you hold a little bit, like $1,000. If you sell and you just hold the whole $1,000 investment, just calculate that and just hold a little bit just for the future, just in case QANX does reach 100 billion. You won't be a billionaire, but you'll still walk away with happy, and that's what we all want to do. We all want to be happy, don't we? Come on, Grok, figure this shit out. Well, I thought you meant to be smart. I don't want to know all this browsing web page. How long does it take to browse a web page? I read faster than you. Return to 404 error. That's not good. I should just probably press quick answer, but it's kind of fun watching Grok fail to succeed. So, see this, $1,000 would be worth probably nearly $2 million. See that? At 100 billion. So even if you sell, it's worth holding $1,000 worth of investment just for a long hold, because when QANX hits like 100 billion, you still walk away with a handsome profit in the future. You could be a QANX maximalist and just forget about it. You could totally do that. But the reality is most people don't. What most people do is they take profit. They convert that profit into their lifestyle. Buy apartments, buy homes, buy cars, pay off their mortgages. That's the reality. And you should never not do that, because the markets go in cycles. You don't want to be caught when you're in healthy profit, big recessions hit, and then suddenly you're fucked. Don't want to do that. That's a mistake. You can't be like, unless you're already a multimillionaire and you don't care, then that's a mistake. So when you do sell, just make sure you hold a little bit. Yeah, don't just kind of sell everything and go all in and all out. That's not a healthy strategy. And then I do think there's going to be a big recession. I do think the recession is probably going to last for 2 years. I do think it's probably going to last from 26 to 28. I do think that. I really do believe that. So I think it's probably going to happen after March. I think Trump is probably going to crash the markets. I don't know why. He probably wants to pay off the debt and do stuff. He's got his grand plan in mind, and he doesn't care about anyone. And so therefore, when we get an opportunity to take profit and walk and convert that into solving life problems, you take that exit. You just hold a little bit, because you never know the future. No one knows the future, and it's worth just kind of holding a little bit. $1,000. Let's see how much $1,000. How many tokens is one of coin? I hope it gives me a quick answer. Actually, I'm just going to do a quick answer. When I get a chance, give me a quick answer. Oh, it gave me a quick answer. So, you only have to hold 32,000 tokens. Yeah. And you just hold that for the long hold, 10 years. Just hold. That would be a smart play, very smart play. And then the rest is just profit at the end of this bull market. Not financial advice, but that's probably what I would do. Probably, yeah. And then in a bear market, you reaccumulate. That's what you do. You look for good levels to buy, wait for the big dips at good levels, and you just buy a little bit over a long period of time. In a bear market, you wait a year and you start buying, usually. And then you accumulate over a year, and then depending on what happens in the bull market, yeah, you could end up reaccumulating. And the reality is, whatever happens, let's just say we do go crazy. In a bear market, you're probably coming all the way back down to retest this range. Probably you'll go up. I don't know how high. Let's just say we go up 5,000%. You'll end up coming all the way back down 97, 96%, just back to test the breakout in a bear market. That's usually what happens. And that's what you wait for in a bear market. And then when it does happen, you start to reaccumulate. You're reaccumulating with your gains. That's why you have to take profit. You take profit, you sell into euphoria. That's what you do. Are you feeling euphoric in QANX right now? No. So you don't sell. When you get euphoria, you start selling. You start scaling out. That's what happens. Kenyatta. I have no idea what WIF has got to do with QANX. All right. So that's QANX. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. I feel the love. And so I send it back with my Friday updates. I hope that kind of helps a little bit. Probably a little bit for some people. All right, let's move on. This is the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do a quick update on my token. Why do I say it's my token? Because I've been involved with this project for quite a long time. And most people, you must know me by now. But if you don't, this is me. I'm an Airbnb superhost, nearly 10 years. I've got a 4.99 star rating, 184 reviews. I've been involved with Dtravel as an advisor, as a volunteer actually, and I've been advising them on a lot of things. And what my objective with Dtravel, and if you don't know about Dtravel, this is it. It's basically a peer-to-peer Airbnb, effectively. And here you can just kind of search for destinations. I'm in El Salvador now, and I'm on a mission here to onboard El Salvador, bring them all on board to our network. So you can see I've managed to help bring 6 listings on. This was 0. I managed to bring 6 on. I'm bringing more in the near future and kind of populate this. So there's a bit of work involved, and my life goal is to take Dtravel and make it bigger than Airbnb. That's my life goal. That's my mission. I think it's possible. That's why I'm doing it. There's a story behind that. I'm not going to go into it right now, but I have a good reputation and I've got a good kind of expertise in this field. And so naturally, I kind of analyze the charts. It's all entertainment value only, not financial advice. And what we're getting on TRVL is a lot of volume. You see the volume? This is what I wanted with QANX, and we're not getting it. See that volume? Getting a lot of volume here. And that's a good sign. That's what you want to see. You want to see volume. Yeah. You want to see, it means that people are showing up to buy. They're interested. They're buying and selling. Now they're interested in this token. Now they really want this token. And you could argue it's partly to do with my YouTube streams. You could argue that. I'm not taking the credit. But really, it's because the price is so fucking low. It's just a reality. The price is low. Dtravel has a really strong network, real world network that has taken a long time to build. We're in 140 countries, 1,225 cities. We have 5,459 listings. We have 10,768 operators, that's hosts. And we're making money. You know, we're taking value. We have an average booking value of $828. So we have a real world network that is actually healthy. We've booked 10,000 room nights to date. This has only been in operation for 3 years, and our network is growing. And when you look at the market cap of TRVL, it's ridiculously low, super low. So it's a real opportunity for a lot of people to come into a project which is healthy, which is growing, and where the market cap is extremely tiny. And I'm here telling you that I'm an Airbnb superhost and I fully endorse and I'm helping to make this happen. You know, like I'm behind this project. That's why I'm in El Salvador. I'm helping to make this happen. I'm actually actively putting all my energy now to grow and to expand Dtravel, the Dtravel network in the real world, tell people about Dtravel, and the reception is highly positive. And that's what I'm doing. So it's just an opportunity, not financial advice. It's an opportunity for people to pick up this token. I don't know if I'm going to go into the technicals right now. It's with these micro caps, technicals are difficult at best, impossible most of the time, but difficult at best. We're getting a real kind of gentle correction here. You see the price has been lingering here for a few days. I was talking, you see that it's kind of lingering around the point of control. I was talking about some kind of harmonic, remember? Either a bat or butterfly. It's still possible that we go down here this weekend to hit the value area low. I still think that's possible, even though it looks like we're getting a little bit of support here, and we're above the golden pocket, and we're kind of lingering around the point of control. We haven't seen a reaction, and that's the problem. But if Bitcoin drops and we hold here, then this is probably the bottom. But if Bitcoin drops and you get an opportunity, then you're looking for a reaction here. Does that make sense? So if Bitcoin drops and this kind of holds here, then actually this is a really good place to long, because actually what you're looking at is this, which is what I drew initially. It's this one. It's a bat. This one here. Okay, and it's the right place because it's a golden pocket, and it's the point just underneath the point of control. It's a reclaim. So you basically lost the golden pocket. You reclaim the point of control, the golden pocket. Reclaiming a level is a sign of strength, and if Bitcoin drops and TRVL holds, that's a good long. But if you do get a sudden drop, then actually you're looking at a butterfly, and ideally you want to come and take these lows here, and it's still valid. It's still a valid bullish harmonic. So we're looking at a bullish harmonic. In these circumstances, it's always best to average in at the levels of interest so you don't miss it. And we're looking at a nice accumulation zone because we're still looking at a bullish harmonic, either a bat or a butterfly. And these kind of harmonics, in trading terms, they're usually, the target of these harmonics is the 50 fib. So we haven't hit the target yet, which would be from this pivot low, it would be somewhere there. And then if we went lower and formed a butterfly, it would be slightly lower to there. That's the target. So that's your kind of target zone. So we haven't hit the target, and that means we're still in play. This harmonic is still in play for an increase in value of 20% at least. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the charts at the moment. Now, it's interesting because on Telegram, because I did a video, oh shit, where's my Telegram? I made a video, and you know, I make videos, I kind of speculate. Jay here, he says to me, reading the title, it's difficult to imagine overtaking, although I believe it will definitely feel avoiding the market. I could see a movement of, did you book it through Airbnb or direct? Yes, he's absolutely right. I agree. Airbnb, you got ripped off. Yes, thank you, mate. I appreciate your comment 100%. So the title, can TRVL overtake Airbnb? Okay. And if you watch my video, the last video I made, or this one actually, because it's a cut, you just click on that link and you'll go to my X page, and I've posted it there. And actually here, the video, I've uploaded it into X, so you don't even have to watch it. You can just read the subtitles. What am I saying? What am I saying? I'm saying that it's a long hold, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years, 5 to 10 years. I'm not saying it's going to overtake Airbnb tomorrow. I clearly say this is a long hold. And it's the same thing I just said with QANX. Same thing. I said, okay, sell into the pump season, but hold enough so that in 5-10 years time, when we do overtake Airbnb for reasons that you don't necessarily understand or can explain, what happens if you have mass crypto adoption and these decentralized companies can't keep up, and then suddenly decentralized real world applications explode and fly and fly and fly? Sure, we're going to overtake Airbnb, and that's when you have to hold $1,000 worth of TRVL, because your $1,000 worth of TRVL, what did I say? Let me go back and have a look at the video. Without, yeah, we have so much. I did the same thing on Grok, didn't I? There you go. Your $1,000 worth of TRVL becomes $22 million. $22 million. Why would you not hold for a long hold $1,000 for the future? This is like your pension. Yeah, when you put money into your pension or into your retirement plan, you don't look at it again for the next 30 years, do you? You just forget about it. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about putting your little money, your little investment into your this is your retirement plan, not financial advice. And you could walk away when we manage to explode TRVL and Dtravel in the future, not next week, not next month, in the future, distant future, whenever it happens, and then you could walk away with a healthy, handsome sum. That's what I'm talking about. And why? Because right now, TRVL is so fucking cheap. So cheap. I can't emphasize how cheap it is. It's really cheap. When I'm looking at, let me hide this. It really is cheap, guys. You don't understand how cheap it is. And that's kind of why I keep on, I'm banging the drums for TRVL. Look how cheap it is. Forget about the previous price action. I've talked about this. This could be a higher time frame WXY correction from the launch. That's all. It's a correction. It's a correction from the launch, and now we're finding the base. Now we're finding the floor at just over 3 million market cap. I think that's okay. And now you have a golden opportunity to pick up this token at dirt cheap prices, because we're about to hit a crazy alt season. And also the other thing to bear in mind is when retail cap get a hold of tokens, they go for the ones they understand. So yeah, QANX, they'll understand that. And TRVL, they'll understand that. Peer-to-peer Airbnb, not everyone understands Airbnb. And when you've got a peer-to-peer Airbnb, they'll understand that too. And so there's a lot of obscure tokens they don't understand. A lot of retail will chase the pump, but when this starts pumping, they'll chase. And they'll market buy because they have no patience. And with small micro caps and small market cap tokens, when you market buy, the price goes up really fast, really quickly. Suddenly it's like 50% higher, 100% higher. And then it just starts to go up and up and up. Not financial advice. So that's my, effectively, that's my TRVL update for today. I'll keep it really short. I don't like to go over 1 hour on my streams these days, because I'm working really hard here. I'll just have a look at the X page. Yesterday there was a post. Thursday feels like that long layover, correct? You're not at your destination yet, but you can already taste the arrival at your new holiday adventure. It's quite funny. I like these. If you're not following them, please follow them and give them some likes. Let's get the word out. Let's show people. This is fun. Let's show people what Dtravel is And there's some big updates coming. There's some big things happening here in El Salvador. I'm in the midst of it. I'm just giving you alpha information, alpha. All right, that's my update. Thank you for joining me, Royal Kenyatta. Appreciate that. Thank you. Krafkoff, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming to watch me. And my next video is going to be on Sunday. It's going to be about 3 p.m. El Salvador time, which is about 10 p.m. UK London time. So that's the next time I'm going to be streaming. And until then, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Goodbye.